Snakes aren't always in the grass. Sharks aren't always in the water. You're counting breaths against the glass, while I am getting closer. The danger doesn't leave a trace when it's sitting in your space. Thieves aren't always in the night, watching from the shadows of the light. Thieves aren't always in the night, they're hiding right in front of your sight. They wear a face you think you know. They walk the path where you always go. They find the cracks inside the floor. They're already behind the door. They're just a hand inside your sleeve, waiting for the moment that you leave. Thieves aren't always in the night, watching from the shadows of the light. Thieves aren't always in the night, they're hiding right in front of your sight. Check the pockets, check the lock, check the face you see on the clock. Now here is safe, nowhere is dry. Wait for the truth to catch the light. Thieves aren't always in the night, watching from the shadows of the light. Thieves aren't always in the night, they're hiding right in front of your sight. The night is done, but the sun is just another thief.
Ah, happy Sunday. How is everybody doing this morning? What a glorious day. Glorious day. Shout out to Ragin, my favorite Cajun. It's hot outside. Fuck off. Ragin, you send me some of the most outlandish cartoons. Wyoming, a little vampire. Say, good morning. How are you, dear? Good to see you, Tracy. Nice talk we had. How are you this morning? Good to see you. And everybody in the background. Uh, Raging, I'm telling you. What? Oh, stalk of corn turning into popcorn. What are you gonna do? Uh, she's a Cajun. Oh dear. We've been working on something else too. Well, I haven't. Other people have been working on something else too. Karis, Beth, how are you? But that one kind of cracked me up. Uh, before we get into today's show, we're going to be talking about psyops. We're going to be talking about childhood and what your childhood actually makes you today, right? What? That popcorn. Rita, good morning. Apparently I'm some kind of evil demon again. Who knows? I don't know. I'm gonna say something. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now, a demon cannot utter those words. Wow. And I hold true to them. Hey, guys. Evening time for you. Oh, when I was covering Dalton and Thornton Township, I was evil. I was a bitch. I was hillbilly. Toothless. Smoked Newports. Yeah, I can't even remember everything. Maybe you guys can. There's so much stuff. No, I was a dark soul. My mother's gonna die soon, and I'll be laughing. All that cute little stuff going on. And now it's starting up again. I'm some kind of demon. Who knows? God knows my heart. That's all I care about. God. I just cares about. You hear things, read things now and then. Uh, it, you know, actually, actually, I want to just play a couple of things from my brother in Christ, and then I'll get back to my point. Reality check, TV, Chicago. Ah,
Put your hands together and praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Yeah, yeah. Keep your eyes open. Reality check TV, live from the trenches. Where the truth don't trend, it just sit in the mentions. Politicians talk slick, but the numbers don't match. Why do people stay broke, try to stretch in the bench? From the south to the birds, yeah, the stories get told. Ain't no script in the street, it's just pressure and cold.
Eric Von Erich in the building, I see you.
Let it breathe, let it show.
God bless you, brother.
Mama praying every night, Lord, watch over my son. Sirens singing loud like the day never done. Lights flash red, blue reflections on tears. The city got scars, been bleeding for years. Reality check, check TV. Chicago, Chicago. Put your
oh, real Chicagoan and my brother in Christ. I love you, reality. Rico. I'll call you by your name. Rico. Rico Hudson. Please subscribe to Rico. Listen, no, Rico to me is a real man of God. He doesn't use God for his agenda. Okay. Yeah, when I was pointing out things from Dalton and Thornton Township, I was evil. I didn't know everybody hated Conscious. Everybody seemed, not everybody. People just seem to love to hate Conscious. I don't know what it is. But Conscious is Conscious. I haven't changed. It doesn't matter. You are who you are. You display by your words who you are. The way you live your life is who you are. I point out facts. Now, I've been playing testimonials, but wait a minute. For the past 2 years, I've been doing it on Jed. Everybody loves Conscious. Uh, get him, Conscious. Get him. I don't hate Jed. I don't know where this. Thank you, Tracy. I don't know where this hatred comes from for Jed. I honestly don't, because I laugh at him. And I received an email this morning I know you don't like Jed. No. I don't like the things that Jed does. You see, there's a difference. I believe that most people have good in their hearts, and they wanna do the right thing. I think they do. Oh, yesterday's show. What was it? It you know, I forget what show I did yesterday. I it's just me. I do a show, I present facts, videos. You're gonna like it, you're not gonna like it. You're gonna tune in, you're gonna shut me off. That's the way the game goes. That's it. But I'm not gonna change for anybody. Nobody. I don't hate Jed. I'm actually trying to teach Jed and everybody around us. Am I the end all be all? No. Yes, justice for Samaje. What, what seems to be the problem? Uh, you see, when you investigate things, you have to look at everything. It's just like the brawl at the township, right? I pointed out so many key factors. Oh, conscious. You're a demon. I hate that woman. If you hate me, I feel sorry for you. If I'm on your mind that much, I feel sorry for you. It, it's it's astounding to me that when I cover something about someone you hate, I'm loved. I, I love you, Conscious. I love you. Go get him. You're a superhero. Yes. But I turned to a different subject, and now I'm a demon again. It goes with the territory. Good morning, Cynthia always has my back. And I mean that. Look, I put out the facts in videos and black and white. This DCFS report on the Samaji case, I had to stop reading it. I don't know where this assumption comes in. I'm after somebody. I'm trying to discredit somebody. No, never have. Arrgh! I'm not trying to discredit anyone. What is wrong with trying to find out what happened? It, sorry, huh? What? Yeah, people can't handle the truth. The the train has left the station. And now, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. You saw everything I put down with Jed. What makes you think you're special? I don't know. If you do right, Conscious is going to say, you're doing right. Some looks fishy. Conscious is going to say, this looks fishy. Just because you like somebody doesn't mean they're the end all be all. I'm not the end all be all. You can like me, hate me. It, I don't care. The only thing that matters to me is God and the truth. The truth. That's it. But I just don't get on and use God as a tool, as a weapon. to discredit someone else. It's wrong. It'll always be wrong. If people want to talk about judgment, look in the mirror. Look in a mirror. Look at yourself. You make no sense to me. Absolutely not. You can. A racist. Conscious is a racist. Oh my gosh, you know how many times I've heard that? It you try to teach people. You try to show people the things that you see. People agree, people disagree. That's if everybody agreed on everything, what would this world be? We'd be robots. Some things are going to stir up emotions. Of course they are. Emotions are good, but sometimes they're bad, especially when you use God to weaponize against one of God's children. Now, if you can't say that prayer, I don't know what to tell you. If you can't listen to my brother in Christ, I don't know what to tell you. But you have to look at yourselves. You see, we all wear masks. All of us. We all judge. All of us. It's human nature. Conscious is not going to change because your wee little feelings are hurt. I'm not. I'm going to present videos and documents to teach people. That's it. That's what Conscious has always done. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Love me, hate me, I don't know. It's not affecting my personal life. It's just not. So, I want to get into psyops here. Well, that made a lot of people click off, didn't it? Drama. We want drama. We want Conscious freaking out. No. No. I'm a cat. What do you want from me? I don't know. Anyways, Chase Hughes. And he's teaching the NCI class. Oh, I forgot. All the super chats go to. Where is it? Where's my goal? There it is. There it is. All super chats and everything else goes towards the NCI 2 University. We are still here. Thank you so much, Karisabeth. You start talking about God and stuff like that, and you don't do a crash out, and people go, "Oh shit, she's not gonna crash out. She's not gonna start this." And just stop being children, and stop using God. God has nothing to do with what your actions do or did. Any of us. That's a you thing. We'll all be held accountable in the end. Anyways, let's go to Chase.
If this is the end, if the stars fall and the earth it begins to bend.
The intelligent minorities can engineer consent through the use of manipulation, propaganda, and control. And we should do it.
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
We're in the midst of a serious financial crisis, and the federal government is responding with decisive action.
I know that the American people share my deep belief that if a danger exists in the world, it is a danger shared by all.
We need to actually double down on the public health measures can't look at that television and say, nothing happened on the 6th.
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to, you're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
This is the end.
Most people have no awareness of how easily our behavior and even our identity can be completely taken over. But people are waking up. I spent 20 years in the U.S. military. I'm a behavior expert. I've trained PsyOps. I'm the best-selling author in behavioral psychology. I want to show you exactly how to identify what we call engineered reality, or what some people call PsyOps.
Case Hughes. A pillar. One of the most dedicated intellectual on PsyOps. Human behavior, body language, everything. This man is the one that is teaching the NCI course. Let's continue. Right, Chase.
At the end of this, I'm going to give you a tool that's literally going to give you a score out of 100 that shows you how likely something is to be a PSYOP. Let's do this. So the first thing you need to know is following the FATE model: focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. This is what triggers the mammalian part of our brain that makes all of our real decisions. The first part is focus. PSYOPs always aim to hijack your attention with repetition, shocking visuals of fear-inducing scenarios. Some examples are like 24/7 media coverage of a crisis, or constant repetition of terms like unprecedented. So with this, pause and ask, why is this message being pushed so aggressively? So compare how much airtime different stories are receiving and note any disproportionate focus. The second part here is authority. Trusted figures might shift their tone or positions unnaturally to support the narrative. So watch very closely for expert panelists or endorsements where authority figures might speak outside of their expertise. Pay close attention to that one. Then we have tribe. So messages that polarize opinions or create stark in-groups versus out-groups, or exploit our tribal instincts. For example, labeling groups as patriots versus traitors, or scientific versus deniers. Be very careful when you hear that language. Finally, we have emotion. So be wary of any communication that triggers strong emotions like fear, hope, or outrage without any clear, verifiable evidence. So emotional responses suppress critical thinking. Emotional responses suppress critical thinking. So as a tip here, analyze the evidence that's presented to you. If facts are replaced by appeals to emotion, you need to be very, very cautious. As an example of this, think about like a news channel repeatedly showing images of empty grocery shelves and panicked shoppers during a food supply scare. It dominates every broadcast and it pushes people into fear-driven behavior. Next, question novelty. Our brains are wired to focus on sudden or unusual changes because they signal potential threats or opportunities. And this is an evolutionary survival mechanism. PSYOPs exploit this by creating events that break normal expectations, like unexpected crises or dramatic revelations. So ask yourself, why is this new? So consider if the event or somebody's message has been artificially manufactured or timed. Look for patterns like sudden shifts in public opinion, trending hashtags that are unusual, or viral videos that seem very coincidental. So for this one, just picture a new viral video just claims to expose a government cover-up, but it conveniently comes out the exact same day that there's some damaging evidence against some high-ranking official. The timing shifts public focus. All of this is part of the NCI system I developed for teaching tradecraft and extreme psychological operations. And there's even a gigantic textbook for all of this stuff in the description. Definitely not for everybody, but it's definitely the most comprehensive guide in the world on this stuff. So next item, look for multiple sources. Centralized narratives create an echo chamber, and they silence dissent, and they narrow perspectives. For example, if all media outlets present identical talking points, it is a humongous red flag. So actively seek out contrarian or independent voices, even if they challenge something that's already in your head. So in reality, an example, during a maybe breaking health crisis, all the major news outlets report on the exact same study, but independent researchers revealed the study was funded by a company selling the solution. So watch for that group speak. Next is identify cognitive dissonance weapons. Let's talk about how this works. So cognitive dissonance comes up when new information clashes with our identity or our beliefs. So PSYOPs exploit the hell out of this by including micro-agreements. Micro-agreements are little, small, seemingly harmless concessions to shape your identity. And over time, you're going to unconsciously align your behavior to reduce that internal conflict. And as a weaponization example of this, a PSYOP might present you as a part of moral or intelligent enlightenment, like only good citizens do XYZ. If you disagree with that, you risk some identity conflict there. So reflect on your identity and ask, am I being nudged to identify with some other group? So be very careful of any campaigns that are asking for seemingly minor commitments there, like signing petitions, changing your profile picture that evolves into some bigger compliance or demand later. As an example of this, let's say a company launches an ad campaign and they claim real patriots buy local. If you disagree with their product, it feels like rejecting your identity as a patriot. So this pushes you to conform. Be very, very skeptical about those identity statements. Next is looking for those emotional scripts. And what I mean by this is the scripts that were written in our brains by our ancestors. So manipulated narratives trigger instincts like the fear of loss or scarcity, social rejection, or danger. For example, a media story about food shortages might activate survival scripts that cause panic buying and stuff like that. And we have scarcity fear. This is sudden warnings about limited resources like water or medicine. Also sparks that kind of behavior. And then we have tribal rejection. These are threats of being socially outcast, like you're selfish if you don't comply. And those things override logic every time. And as a tip for this, break the script by focusing on the facts. Like, what's the likelihood of this scenario? So compare the claims with other sources. For this, just picture where a politician says something like, if we don't act now, our children will not have a future. This taps into survival instincts, those ancestor scripts in our head, and it's tied to protecting offspring. It creates urgency without any facts. Next is follow the money. So there's a trail of beneficiaries here. So identifying who benefits always is going to reveal the motive. So look for funding sources like sponsorships or political connections that are tied to the narrative. So use tools like OpenSecrets.org or public financial records to see who profits from this. So for policies or campaigns, identify the industries like pharmaceuticals, tech companies, etc., that stand to gain the most. So to illustrate this in your mind right now, picture a charity that's promoting clean energy awareness, and they seem noble until an investigations are showing that it's funded by a solar panel corporation that's lobbying for subsidies or something like that. Next, and this one is very important, is analyze the context boundary. The mechanism here is context, and context defines what is permissible. So manipulative people shift contexts to normalize extreme behavior. As an example of this, in emergencies, people accept surveillance or martial law that they normally would completely resist. So ask, what is the context? Compare some similar events in different settings to see if the rules or responses seem disproportionate. Look for contradictions. So for lots of the students who are brand new to NCI University, this right here is the most massive realization when they realize that the ability to weaponize cognitive dissonance and then shift the context can get anyone to do almost anything. As a hypothetical example of this, let's say there's a major cyber attack. The governments are now justifying some sweeping surveillance laws to protect the citizens. This changes the context to make previously unacceptable actions seem absolutely necessary. Next, spot the use of archetypes because they're woven into our brains. PSYOPs simplify narratives by using archetypes like heroes and villains and saviors. Some examples are like portraying one leader as the sole solution or demonizing dissenters as the enemy. Deconstruct the story. Ask who are the characters and what roles are they playing. Simplistic, like good versus evil stories usually signal manipulation just about every time. So always seek nuance there. In the real world, you're going to see something like maybe a leader is repeatedly portrayed as a savior fighting something that's pure evil, and the narrative ignores their mistakes and oversimplifies the conflict to prevent a lot of scrutiny. Next, evaluate the frame. So let's do a step-by-step evaluation here. First one is expectation. What are you expected to believe or do based on this thing that you're exposed to in the media? Next is belief. What assumptions are being made about you, like your values or your fears? Then we have perception. So how is reality being shaped, like selective facts or missing contexts? And definition is the final step here when it comes to a frame. What truth is being asserted as something that's completely unchallengeable? This comes up with information suppression. So really look for topics that are being avoided, critics that are being silenced. If somebody needs to be silenced in order for an idea to make it, then the idea is not good. So alternative viewpoints being discredited, that's a big one to look out for. So cross-check timelines of events and notice if critics are labeled conspiracists or if algorithms are suppressing some kind of specific search. And this is a big one, especially in today's time. So to get a good example of this, during maybe a corporate scandal, the company's PR team frames these critics as disgruntled employees with a grudge. So this shifts the focus away from the legitimate concerns to the motives of the critics. And it does it almost without us realizing that that's happening in our brain. So next, be alert to rapid compliance shifts. This one is scary and it's happening every day. PSYOPs create urgency to drive rapid compliance. And these tactics are stuff like emotional appeals, staged group behaviors, or false consensus. For this, it's really important to slow down and resist the pressure to act, to question the conformity as much as possible, and test the message, engaging the skeptics there. So in the real world, this might look like maybe a viral social media challenge urges all these users to adopt this brand new symbol or profile picture or hashtag kind of overnight, and it creates a wave of compliance. So later, this is kind of like a foot in the door technique. It's tied to some divisive political agenda. Next, study the timing of the events, and this one's huge, especially right now. Timing is everything. Ask yourself, why is this happening now? So what other events or scandals might this thing be distracting everybody from? So look for very coincidental timing with unrelated major news stories or political movements. PSYOPs can very often be smoke screens. And in real life, you might see stuff like a huge celebrity breakup floods all of the headlines exactly as some major investigative report about government corruption is about to be released. Coincidence? Probably not. The next thing I want you to do is to sharpen your brain to start hearing and understanding these manipulation tactics. And one of the biggest things that you can do, the most effective way that I could train you right now, just you and me, is to teach your brain to recognize logical fallacies. So let's go through these, because PSYOPs very often use these flawed arguments to convince people. And if you know how to spot them, it makes you a lot harder to manipulate. Let me give you 10 of these so that your brain gets hardwired to start seeing everything a whole lot differently. So the first one that you're going to see all the time, appeal to emotion. So this uses fear and anger and hope to bypass logic. So like, if you don't support this, children are going to suffer. Next is the straw man argument. This misrepresents somebody's argument so they can attack it better. So somebody might say they oppose the lockdowns because they don't care about lives. Think about that one. Number 3 is the bandwagon fallacy. So this claims that something is true because everyone supports it. And this is, you hear this all the time. Millions of people agree with X, Y, and Z. You should agree with it too. Number 4 is the false dilemma. This presents only 2 extreme options and it ignores alternatives. So it's the either you're with us or you're against us fallacy there. Number 5 is the ad hominem attacks. This is the attack of the person and not the argument. Be very observant for this. So this is when you hear you can't trust her. She's not a scientist. You can't do X because they're not qualified based on X. Ad hominem is very common and I want your brain to be able to spot it. Number 6 is appeal to authority. And this is a claim that something is true because an authority figure said so. So like Dr. X supports it, so it's absolutely right. You have to trust the science. Number 7 is the slippery slope. These are claims that one action is going to lead to some extreme negative outcome. So you've heard this before. Somebody says something like, if we allow this, we're going to lose all of our freedoms. All of our freedoms are gone. The country is gone. All of that kind of talk like that. Be very attuned to when you hear that and very cautious when you hear that. Number 8, hasty generalizations. And these are broad claims that are made with very little evidence. So the example is 2 politicians lied, so all of them must be corrupt. So giant claim, tiny bit of evidence. 2 politicians might have lied, so they're all corrupt. Number 9 is huge. It's the red herring. So this distracts people with irrelevant information. You've heard this maybe as an example when somebody says, why are we worrying about climate change when we have so much crime going on right now? It's an argument of distraction. Number 10 is false equivalence. This compares 2 things as equals when they're absolutely not equal. So you'll hear somebody say something in the news that's both sides have extremists, so they're exactly the same. One love.
Thank you, Chase. I appreciate that. That was an excellent, excellent video. And Chase is teaching the NCI course. There's a lot. There's a lot to learn. But once you've learned it, once you see the signs, you know. You just know. The truth is always uncomfortable for somebody. It always is. We are all insecure human beings. All of us. Each and every one of us has an insecurity. It's a fact. We wear masks, right? We all wear masks. I wear a mask, you wear a mask, everybody wears a mask. When that mask starts slipping is when you see people using God, calling you a racist, a bigot, superhero, demon, devil, whatever. I can't even keep up with all the names. Bless you, Mom. Bless you, Mom. Bless you. That's 3 times. 3 times is a charm for her. I don't know what it is. But if you have to resort to God to get your point across, well, I don't know what to tell you. God is all-knowing, all-seeing. Oh my gosh, he had a 4th one. Jiminy crickets, I think I better give her an allergy pill. Elderville, Elderville, 911. I love Mama C. She is so fantastic and so wise, right? 93 this year, and we'll probably have a bless you. That's number 5. I know. Jiminy crickets. Is it really, Jackie? Oh, wait. Well, usually she's 3, but now she's up to 5. I don't know what's happening with Mom. I don't know. I love taking care of my mother. She's a sweetheart, and she has a lot of knowledge. She calls herself dumb, and because she doesn't know like what I talk about, psychology, psyops, and all this stuff. But intelligence, is intelligence isn't how much you know; it's how much you learn in life. There's emotional intelligence, which is very key. Now, look, I had fun with Dalton and putting Jed down. And yes, when Jed does stupid things, I'm going to put it up there. But the thing that people don't seem to understand about Jed, he does vicious and vile things. I'm trying to teach Jed by laughing at him. But once you start laughing at someone, that just shows their inner self. Oh, does she really, Jackie? Maybe like 7. I think I better give her an allergy pill. It just I study every day. And when I say I study every day, I study every day. It's a thing with me. I love it. Uh, I live with my mother. I take care of my mother, in whom I love with all my heart. So what do people do? They say things about my mother to get at me. No, doesn't. Sorry, no, doesn't work. You can call me a racist. Been there, done that. You can call me a bigot. Been there, done that. You don't affect me. Because the words that you use shows your true personality. This channel is going professional. I've made that decision. It's going professional. And we are going to teach people. Whether people want to listen, turn it off, that's up to you. But this channel is going to be professional. And we're just going to provide facts. We're going to do body language. Uh, does anybody know the Wade case? Psychopath. Murdered 2 women. Terrible case. Scott, our meteorologist. How's the weather today, Scott? What do we got to look forward to? Well, yeah. I think it's going to be 80 here today, so we got kind of calming down of the heat. And yes, I broke down and put the air conditioner in the window the other day because I'm like, no. Like, go, okay, yeah, I'm done. No, can't do it. GB, good morning. Good to see you. Look, conscious is conscious. I haven't changed. And I'm not going to change for you because you feel that you're somehow under attack. It's not the purpose of this channel. The purpose of this channel is to open people's eyes. Whether you believe it, don't believe it, hate me, love me, it's like a marriage. It's kind of like a hate-love relationship, if anybody knows what I mean. I am very secure in being alone. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of acquaintances, which are much different. I am very satisfied and secure in my life. Do I have insecurities? Of course I do. Everybody does. And anybody that says I don't have insecurities, you're lying to yourself. You know, it's just that's the way it is. A- And Karis and Beth have been sending me. Oh, look, I grew up in a white community. Okay. Uh, during I think it was middle school. All of a sudden, a black student showed up, and we thought, oh, that's funny. Okay. His name was Kevin. Okay, I won't give his last name. But everybody loved Kevin. Because it didn't matter. You've got this all white community, and all of a sudden, here we get exposed to a black student. It's a very tiny place I grew up in. But everybody welcomed Kevin with open arms. He was a really cool dude, and he still is. He still is. Because it doesn't matter about your race. Well, it shouldn't matter. But you have race baiters. You have people whose feelings get hurt. And the first thing that they resort to is you're a racist. Oh, tell my nephew. I'm a racist. Yeah. You don't know my life. You don't know me. I'm a cat on a screen talking to you. Conscious is conscious. I have not changed. You love it when I go after Jed. I it the numbers just bloom, right? But I start talking about things that make people uncomfortable. And all of a sudden you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a devil, you're a demon, and judgment is coming for you. Okay. That's your emotional intelligence coming out. That's it. I'm not going to change, but this channel is going professional. I've decided. I was listening to Shay earlier this morning. I learn a lot from Shay. You love him sometimes, you hate him sometimes. It's the same thing, right? If Shay is talking about Jed, you love him. He talks about something else and your feelings get hurt. That's a you problem. It's a you problem. And I believe this is what is wrong with society. Now, Chase Hughes has not watched the news in 9 years. 9 years. But he is a wealth of information. And I'm going to use that information that I learned from him. You see, you want to surround yourself with intelligent people. I am not the brightest bulb in the box. I'm not. I know things, I see things, but I rely on intelligent people to teach me what I'm lacking. What does professional look like for you? Well, this is the kickoff. And I just showed you PSYOPs. And we are going to teach in a professional way with facts. Facts that you can see for yourself and see the world. Look, politicians use you. It doesn't matter what race you are. They use you. They use your emotions. So, what does professional look like? we're really going to get into a more productive, professional show, I guess you want to call it, to start from the beginning and go down the line so you can have a comprehensive understanding. And it's going to make you look at yourself as well as other people. Status, exactly. Oh, status this morning. You know, people copy people. We all do it. We find something. It's like it's like this. Okay. Now I copied that from a website called Soup. I like her. But she has her rabbit bun with a leather jacket on, you know, kind of a what they a biker jacket on. Cute as a pie, that little rabbit. So I said, "What? Wait a minute. I wonder if I could put Bear on a Harley and have Conscious as the motorcycle name." So I put it in AI. You know, the music I play, it's AI. You know, some people like it, some people don't. But so what we're gonna do to make this professional, we're gonna do a weekly show on Samaji Crosby. We're gonna cover other cases as well, but we're going to use NCI to do it. So you can follow the patterns. Life is patterns. They just will be. So I wanted to play this little childhood and maybe talk for a little bit more. Yeah, it never gets old. That's so cute. I love it when she plays Bun Bun on a motorcycle. It's just so you pick up ideas from different channels and you make them into your own, right? Uh, I love humor. I love to laugh. I do. I love my life. I live alone. You know, some people think that solitude is a curse. Oh, you can't find a man. You can't find a woman. No, there's an actual psychology behind that. For people who prefer to be alone and not have a partner. It's not a curse. It's actually a good thing. And we're going to teach that too, because I know a lot of people live life alone. Some people do it out of necessity, and some people do it on purpose, right? I prefer my own company. Uh, I just do. I hope that doesn't sound whatever-ish. I don't know. But let's get to childhood.
The childhood development triangle, the root level code that drives 99% of what people do. This is where you stop seeing people as random or reactive and start seeing them as unfinished scripts that were written before they ever knew they were writing them. The triangle is where everything starts. Every human being develops their early behavior around 3 core needs in life: friends, safety, and rewards. In friends, this is where we say, what do I do to earn friends, to keep them? How do we socially bond? How do we seek some inclusion and feelings of love? In safety, we learn, what do I do as a child to feel safe? It's emotional safety and physical protection. In rewards, we learn how to be rewarded by authority figures and peers. How do we get some validation, some praise, and attention from other people? So, when a child feels stable in all 3 areas, which is rare, they build semi-secure behavior. But When one of these things is missing or in a deficit, we adapt. Children learn how to mask very early in life. They learn to survive, which looks normal on the outside, but it's really armor and protection strategies. But these strategies don't go away. As we move into adulthood, we stuff all of this inside, not knowing that we will be carrying these 20 to 40 years down the road. So, these strategies don't go away automatically. They simply evolve into adult behavior. Have you ever met someone who can't take a compliment? It could be that they were raised where praise was super rare. Maybe when they did get praise, it was followed by some harsh type of criticism. So, they learned that attention was dangerous, and as an adult, they automatically reject those compliments. If you notice someone who avoids conflict, there may have been a conflict that involved screaming or withdrawal, so they learned that conflict breaks connection. And now, as an adult, they nod and smile, but silently they are pissed off and they get angry and quiet. That's why there is the saying, watch out for the quiet ones. But what about the person who is always bragging and name-dropping? It's not ego like you might think. It's a script. They might have felt invisible as a kid, and now their adult brain is just saying, please see me. Please make this matter, or make me matter. So in the 5 lenses, that is what we are living right here. So, they are important to learn. Let's take another person who panics all the time when plans change. It's not being a type A person. It's usually somebody who didn't know what they would wake up to when they were growing up, where every day was very unpredictable, so now control equals safety. Anything spontaneous or unplanned is a threat to their brain. These are not just quirks. These are visible signs of a child's invisible blueprint still running inside of that adult. Behavior is patterned. It's not personal. So, most people react to human behavior. They will say things like, she's needy, he's arrogant, he's a narcissist, he's an asshole, or this person is so passive-aggressive. Things like that. You have got to look underneath these things. So, don't look at an adult being difficult. See a child's adaptive strategy that is still wearing a grown-up face. That's what you are really seeing. The triangle. Friends. A lack of friends creates people-pleasers, chameleons, or overachievers. A lack of safety creates avoiders, hyper-controllers, or chronic apologizers. A lack of reward creates approval seekers, performers, or status chasers.
It's a very powerful lesson. And one of the things I really want you to look at is yourself. How you think as an adult today. How did your childhood affect how you are today? We all carry baggage. If anybody ever thought their childhood was perfect, there's cracks. I had a perfect childhood. It couldn't have been any better. Think about that. I really want you to think about today about your childhood and the things that were described on the childhood triangle. It says a lot. It says a lot about ourselves. If we cannot identify our flaws, we all have flaws. We're not perfect. God is perfect. We're not perfect. We screw up. We say stupid shit that we should have never said. How does this determine someone is all together? Yeah, all together. I've got this all together. Listen to me because, I know what I'm talking about. I have these doctrines. I have these diplomas. I have these whatever. Look at that person. And why are they acting like that? Most actions as adults are a result from our childhood. So what the lesson today I want you to learn and think about is your childhood. Was it perfect? Really? What was it perfect? Come on. It, I don't think so. I don't think anybody has a perfect childhood. We've all seen our parents in an argument or, I disagree with parents, arguing in front of their children, but they do it anyways. Uh, Environment is another strong indicator on how you behave today, how you grew up, what environment. And getting back to Karis and Beth. Karis and Beth are teaching me about Black culture. And I'm learning a lot. And it goes back to when I was in school. All white school, good. And we were actually taught reading, writing, arithmetic, science. I don't know what they're teaching people in school today. I don't. But I take these things very seriously. I want to learn. I really do. I don't need to know anybody's childhood experiences because your adult actions speak volumes. Well, yeah, GB. Yeah. Bullied as a child. Said to me I would tease and bully you as well because of, yeah. Bullies are bullies. They like to bully because they want to feel supreme. They want to make themselves feel better than you. Why? Because they're not. If you have to puff yourself up and explain everything that you have done in your lifetime, that's a you problem, and it speaks volumes. And the language that you use speaks volumes. So going professional on this channel, we're going to have fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to play clips of human behavior. It just, since no one can help how they were raised or what circumstances they grew up in, how do people develop in a healthy way and brings dignity to themselves and to others? That's a good question, Scott. And it goes to the brain, the mammalian part of your brain. That's what influencers and politicians and all that use. They use your emotions, right? Whatever is in this race baiting, that's gonna rise up people's emotions, right? So, say you grew up in a wonderful home, picket fence, great parents, got along, good jobs. Maybe you were the only child and you were doted on, right? And you were spoiled rotten. What happens when you enter the real world? Wait a minute. People aren't paying attention to me. Like my parents spoiled me. I'm supposed to be special. Why am I not special anymore? We all carry baggage. Some horrific, some not. We had horses growing up. We had a horse named Peaches. I would get on that horse and she would buck me off. I was afraid of the horse. And you really have to start looking at yourself and your own flaws. We cannot judge people. We love to judge people. I don't judge people. I judge their actions. And that's a big, big difference. Because of his actions. And I I guarantee I can pinpoint Jed's background. We'll put it like that. I don't think so. I don't think so. A lot of kids were bullied in school, right? They carry that into their adult lives. And we're going to get into that step by step. And that's what I mean by going professional. We are going to take certain childhood situations and how that people would react in adult life. You don't forget, but abuse as a child, your parents are arguing, and you know, I know a person who has it all together, right? Well, thinks they have it all together. Very finicky on how things, everything has got to be structured. And don't deviate from today's plans, right? Or they're going to flip out, right? Why is that person doing that? Because that child didn't know what they were going to wake up to every morning because it was an unstable environment in the home. It's a fact. Look, when I say I study every day, I study every day. It's not a flex. I love to learn. So you have a person who has got to stick to a schedule, and anything that deviates from that schedule for that day, they flip out. Absolutely lose it. Why? Because their childhood was unstable. They didn't know from day to day what they were going to wake up to in their home life. You got to look at all of these children that have been failed by the system and their families. Because if children are in the system, it started at home. How is your childhood experience at home? We all have great memories of our childhood. All of us do. But there is baggage that we don't want to recognize, that we carry 40 years down the road. And to call someone a racist and a bigot, a demon, using God, shows me a lot of things. But anyways, getting back to the professional conscious. We're going to have fun. We are going to laugh. But we are going to teach you. I'm going to teach you with the help of Chase Hughes and how to control your emotions. You have got to stop and think. Only takes 5 seconds. The brain reacts in milliseconds. Stop watching the news. Stop watching the news for 1 week. I have a challenge for you. Stop watching the news for 1 week and see what happens. When you get up, what's the first thing you do? Do you look at your phone? Do you look at your computer? Do you look for the drama? Or do you go for educational videos? Tommy! Tommy, you know what's coming. Tommy? Tommy, Raging did that for me. Raging did Cajun. I don't know how Raging does it in Louisiana. I honestly don't. Louisiana weather, I don't know how she does it. And it's remarkable, Louisiana's weather. I don't know. But the thing about, oh yeah. Um, let me see here. I have something else. Ah, oh, sorry, Region. Let me get rid of you. There. Ah, the garden cube. Yes, I have been working, as I promised, on the garbage. Gar garden cube. They're cheap, it doesn't take a lot. And it's a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, my onions are already coming up, which I'm surprised. I planted them on the 1st of July. So yes, I am taking pictures. This is a horrible picture. It wasn't in focus. The lighting is wrong. I know. Uh, don't judge me. Okay. I want to teach people how not to judge, to look at the facts, to use psychology, to improve their lives. A lot of us are suffering and we don't even know it. We don't even know we're suffering. Go out, touch the grass. It does wonders. Go out in the sun. If it's not too hot, if it's 100 degrees, stay inside, please. Yes, GB. I actually put it's a window air conditioner, really cheap. Okay, yeah, I'm a cheap bitch. I admit it. I learned that from my grandparents and my parents because they grew up World War II, right? My grandparents grew up in the Depression. So you take your elders and you listen to them because they kind of know a little bit here and there. So yes, I put in the window air conditioner yesterday because I went upstairs and it must have been 110. I said, nope, screw this. That's it. I don't care what the electric bill is going to be. I'm going to be cool. So I did it. So from now on, oh, we're going to do the gardening, little segments, okay? And this is the top of it. Get up there. There. I'll be putting a TK times 3 this heat. People are passing out left and right from heat stroke, which is a very serious thing. So, we are going to use NCI and psychology and have some fun in between. Conscious is always going to be conscious. You might not like who conscious is, but then you like me when it suits your needs, which is very odd to me. I don't know. My life as a kid sucked. My teacher's dad picked on me. One teacher told me I was no good and my dad was bad. He called me names maybe that all fucked up. Yeah, that Tommy, it's true. And we carry that baggage. How do we get rid of that baggage? That's what I want to focus on. Because you can. You absolutely can. And it will change your life for the better. That's all I want to do. Change lives for the better. Things are going to be uncomfortable, and I'm sorry. That's the way things are. Oh, the humidity. It's yeah, the hydroponics. And you can grow during the wintertime, right? Which is remarkable. It's always great to grow your own vegetables and your own herbs and flowers. You can grow flowers in the hydroponics. You know, it's it's a great thing, but we're going to get into childhood trauma and how it affects the adult brain and why. I've said this many times. Trauma stays in the right brain until it crosses over the corpus callosum into the left brain so it can be processed. That is the battle. I am not a licensed psychiatrist, therapist, psychologist, nothing. I'm a cat. But I love to learn. And I think it's time I start teaching what I've learned. Take it with a grain of salt. Yes, we're going to add humor. But take away this from today's live stream. Take a look at your childhood. And I want you to write down things that were good and things that were bad. I'm a cat. I'm just a cat. I don't know anything. Ah, Wyoming, that's wonderful. Yeah, a lot of people don't. They live in apartments, okay, and they're in a city, right? And they just don't. They can't plant a garden, what we call a traditional garden. But you can inside your house, and you don't have to buy a lot of stuff. You don't. The garden cube, I think, goes for $50 maybe, but it's well worth it. And it's really fun watching the plants grow, right? It's a lot of fun. So that's where we're going with this channel. We're going professional. Any donations are going to NCI2 to continue our learning. I am not done with NCI1 yet, but we are going to add in psychology, PSYOPs, the NCI program, gardening, getting out into nature, listening to the birds sing. How many people listen to the birds sing when they first get up? When I get up in the morning, I don't touch my phone. I don't touch my computer. I get up, I get my coffee, I go outside, and I listen to the birds. God's gifts. God's gifts are all around us. And we just have to sit still and listen to them. You pickled vegetables the other day. My brother pickles a lot of things. And he cans soups and all kinds of stuff. I would like to learn that. Because it's pretty cool. He sends us stuff. He sends us moonshine. You want? Your cats love birds too. Yeah, I love nature. Nature is very healing. But look, the bottom line is conscious has never changed. Conscious will never change. I am me. You can like me. You can hate me. You can call me names. You can call me the devil. Whatever names you want to call me. It's not going to affect me. Because when you start using terms like that, it shows your character. It shows your insecurities. That's it. When you have to resort to such vile language and then use God to do it, what does that say about you? Oh, let's get conscious all obsessed so she freaks out and just starts screaming and yelling and all this good stuff. No. No. Been there, done that, didn't like it. Anyways, that's where the channel is going. And Tommy, I hope we can help you out with that, truly, with some good information and some really sound research that will help you. Trauma doesn't go away. Trauma will never go away. However, once the left brain processes that trauma, it remains in the past. And that's the thing about trauma. If you don't process it, it remains in the present. But once it's processed, it remains in the past. And you can get on with your life and actually live a good life. Because I want good for people. I want people to be happy. I'm going to point out liars. That's just me. Holly, good morning. How are you? I know, you know, I haven't done it yet, but I want to get out the hummingbird feeder today. I've been a little late in doing that. It's already July. But they've been buzzing around. Yeah, Tommy. There you go. Let me stick it in there for you. I'm a very slow typer. I hope I put it in there right. So, if you want me to cover something, I'll cover it. If it betters people. And that's the direction we're going. Conscious will not change for anyone but God. That's it. When you want to resort to name calling, it shows your character. Reagan, Reagan, Reagan. I got you up there, Reagan. I got you up there. Thank you, Reagan. Popcorn. I loved it. I had to show it. I had to show it. It's just a classic. You can't. Reagan is so talented. She's so talented. I mean, how do you come up, Reagan? How do you come up with this stuff? Reagan, she comes up with the most insane things. I don't know. I don't know how Reagan does it, but that's our Reagan. Well, I guess GB, there's a problem with some people sending to the Proton. So use the Gmail. Proton is a secure email. Okay. And it has a lot of security checks, and sometimes things just don't come through. So use the Gmail. Okay. We are going to go step by step, inch by inch. I think that was some kind of show on the radio. Oh, wonderful, Wyoming. I haven't checked the emails this morning. That's just me. I like to get up, get my coffee, and just step outside and enjoy nature. If you do that, your day will be a whole lot better. And I challenge you, stop watching the news for 1 week and see what happens to you. It's all psyops. Anyways, the Three Stooges. Okay, Brainiacs. That's all I got for you. The facts are facts. Your emotions are yours. I don't know what to tell you. Look in the mirror and figure out. Now, oh my gosh, TK times 3 fishing. I love fishing. When I was down in Florida, underneath one of the bridges, they have a lot of them there. At night, we would go down. Actually, I was fishing one day and my reel just went crazy. Well, what happened? A manatee caught my line. And, yeah, if you know what manatees are, they're huge, okay? But some people, I think, call them sea cows. But anyways, we would go at night with a lantern and a net and a bucket. We'd shine the lantern over the water. Blue crab would come up like crazy, and that would be dinner. Making fun of us when we had snow. Yes, don't forget the .com. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm sorry. Did I not? I screw up all the time. Thank you, Cynthia. So it's bearcubadirondack@gmail.com. So that's all I have for you. Conscious will continue to be conscious. You'll love me, you'll hate me, you won't understand me. And it's good to ask questions. If we stop asking questions, how do we learn? I don't know. Have a great day. I'm going to go outside and kind of trim a few of the deadhead roses that's going on outside. I love you. I care about you. You have a family here, and I truly mean that. If you want to learn, this is a place for you. Have a good day. Bye. And thanks, Rita, for that, because my mother cracked her ass off when she saw it.
Snakes aren't always in the grass. Sharks aren't always in the water. You're counting breaths against the glass, while I am getting closer. The danger doesn't leave a trace when it's sitting in your space. Thieves aren't always in the night, watching from the shadows of the light. Thieves aren't always in the night, they're hiding right in front of your sight. They wear a face you think you know. They walk the path where you always go. They find the cracks inside the floor. They're already behind the door. They're just a hand inside your sleeve, waiting for the moment that you leave. Thieves aren't always in the night, watching from the shadows of the light. Thieves aren't always in the night, they're hiding right in front of your sight. Check the pockets, check the lock, check the face you see on the clock. Now here is safe, nowhere is dry. Wait for the truth to catch the light. Thieves aren't always in the night, watching from the shadows of the light. Thieves aren't always in the night, they're hiding right in front of your sight. The night is done, but the sun is just another thief.